You now tuned in to the Gumptown Podcast. I'm your boy Doug B. We ain't got nothing to talk about, but we got something to talk about. Let's go. Good people, good people, good people. Welcome back to the Gumptown Podcast. I'm your boy Doug B. If you tuned in to this podcast, I want to first thank you for giving this podcast a shot. Thanks for your time and your attention. This is episode 5. Today's guest, I met this brother back at the Alabama State University back in 2006. He just always been a cool brother. I used to see him around the yard with his wife, with his now wife, then girlfriend, and his brother. He just always been cool people. He is the founder and owner of Harding Creations, which happened to be the company that designed the logo for my wife's, Ashley Wright, World Bound No More Deluxe Edition album cover, as well as he designed the Gumptown Podcast. So when you see that fire logo from the Gumptown Podcast, know that it came from Harding Creations. Without further ado, let's give a warm Gumptown round of applause for Timothy Harding.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on, Doug.
Tim, how's it going, my brother?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on Gumptown Podcast. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, sir. First things first, man. I just want to thank you for your time and your attention. I want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to chop it up with me for a few minutes, man. I really appreciate it.
Sure. Anytime.
Yeah, man. So as I was saying in the intro, met you at the Alabama State University, 2006. And for the people who don't, so yeah, man, we've known each other for 15 plus years, man. And for the people who don't know who Tim Harding is, tell them a little bit about your story, where you from and how you got to where you are now.
Man, well, Doug, I'm from Montgomery, Alabama. And I attended Alabama State. And at Alabama State, I majored in graphic design. Well, I first majored in fine arts, and then graphic design caught my attention while I was there on campus. And as let me switch my major because I see what the future holds for this area, you know. And I end up when I graduated, I ended up in Atlanta, internship at Cartoon Network, Soapbox Studios, and I didn't get employed there, but I learned a lot. I added a lot of my projects to my portfolio, and then and it was a hard situation trying to get employed somewhere at the time. So what I did was created some type of freelance avenue where I can do work for people and get paid for them for the project. So and I just at the time I saw it as like a little hobby, and I didn't have a job, full-time job. So what I did was I went back home. I went back to Montgomery, and I stayed there for a little while, and ended up coming back to ASU working at continuing education. And it was like a summer camp. The program, I can't remember what the program was at the time, but it was a great program with the kids, and I was teaching art, and that kept a little income going for a little while. And when that ended, I moved to Birmingham in 2011, and I've been here 10 years. Been here 10 years now, and I work at a television network up here, and doing graphic design. So that skill set continued throughout my time, and I just kept grinding to get to the point where I was comfortable. And so now I once I got comfortable working full time at the television network, I still had the freelance skill set going on. So I wanted to just make it official and just create a business. Since I'm doing all this graphic design work, let's create a business. And I call it Harding Creations, and I've been in business. I started the business in 2016. Okay. and I was an independent contractor, and my clients has grown. I've pretty much worked with different companies where they need graphic design work done, and I end up getting connected that way. And then the more work I do, the more connections just kept growing, and to the point where the networking was growing, and I said I need to market myself better. And since then, it's been growing ever since. And that's how I am to this day. Still working to get off my 8 to 5. So
Right.
you know, and it's gonna happen.
Right.
You have faith and confidence, faith in God. To see it through. So yeah, that's a little brief introduction. Well, at Harding Creations, we provide visual solutions, graphic designing. Our specialties include logos, digital advertising, flyers, websites, various illustrations, social media marketing, and any other business graphic solutions. So that's the pretty much sums up for what I do at my job and what I do as a business owner. So.
Okay, man. Great story, man. Like you said, you finished up at Alabama State, went on to Atlanta, couldn't find work, but you just always had that gift, and it just stayed with you, and you eventually relocated to Birmingham, working for a TV station, and you said, "Why not? Let me go ahead and use this gift that I have to start a business." And not only that, you majored in Alabama State, which is great, man. Like a lot of people don't get a chance to work in their field. A lot of times, you go to college and you get these degrees, these nice degrees, and you never get a chance to work in your field. So the fact that you are part of that rare few that get a chance to do that, man, that's dope. And
Yes, most definitely, most definitely, man.
yeah, man, and basically you answered what was going to be my next question. It was basically going to be, what does Harding Creations provide? Which you've already answered that. So, and that's good stuff, man. You all are definitely rocking and rolling, making things happen. And like you said, man, as you continue to do more projects, you build your network, your confidence, and you will eventually replace your 9 to 5 with Harding Creations full time, just as long as you keep going.
Exactly. Um, you see, you really mentioned that was a good point. That's a good point, Doug, because um, throughout testing the workforce, you won't be able to do what you want to do when you're working at a job. So what you see at the job is consistent, everyday routine, everyday duties. There's no situation where you want to try things or want to grow or be creative. So why not step out your comfort zone? And we didn't say it was going to be hard. I mean,
Right.
didn't say it was going to be easy, but it's really hard. But you know that on the other side of the tunnel will be great. So, but all that said, Doug, is when you doing work for different people, and then you end up doing work for companies, because companies can contract you. You can be a contract and contractor under them instead of being a individual contract worker for a person. You can have contract work laid out for a company, and you'll get even more income. So it's a interesting field where it's up and down, but if you stay consistent, you have consistent income, coming in. So I think it's a beneficial career where you can kind of, even when you're working full time, you're still, when you come home, you're still looking for something else. You're looking to excel in something else, because when your 8 to 5 is over, you're going home. You can easily just sit at home and do nothing, or you want to grow as a business owner, entrepreneur. think it helps. Learn everything from your job, and then you can transport that into your business instead of just going to work and then just coming home. And you're just satisfied. I'm never satisfied when it comes to just going to work, coming home. You have to continue. You have to continue the energized, bunny attitude that you have to just attack. And if you want to excel in life, you want to grow. So and I know exactly what I'm talking about. So I just feel like I just feel that there's more out there for us to succeed than being settled.
No, man. I mean, everything you just said is spot on. And to your point about working a 9 to 5 and coming home and not doing anything, I definitely can attest that was me for many years. Go to work, come home, sit around, wait for the next day to come, and it just becomes Groundhog Day. It's same thing every day. And one thing I always tell my wife as well as my friends, and I'm about to and basically you already hit on this point, but one thing I always explain to them is, hey, if not saying everybody has something that they want to do, because some people are just content with going to work, coming home, and that's fine. And I'm not here to judge nobody. You do you do what you want to do, but if there, yeah, but if there's something that you desire to do, yeah, take your 9 to 5 money and invest that into a business, or invest that into your idea. And I'm not the guy that's gonna say, "Oh, quit your job and go in all on your dreams." Like that's ridiculous because we got bills. But um, one thing we do have, and I know you can attest to this, we have plenty of free time. We have more time than we recognize. A lot of people say, "Well, I don't have time." Yes, you do. Like if you're really trying to get something off the ground, you have time in the evening. You take away the time. Okay, granted, if you have wife, kids, I understand that. I'm not counting that time. I'm counting the scrolling, social media, playing Call of Duty. Like, so if you spending an hour or two every evening playing Call of Duty and you serious about investing in yourself and starting a business, man, just replace that time, man. Replace that with something that you want to do. And that's basically what you've done. You've you basically took your 8 to 5 money and you started investing in your own business and you growing your clientele. And that's to be commended, man. Like that's the right way to do it, in my opinion. I mean, I know some people will say quit the job and go all in. I'm not of that thought process, but I get it. If you're 20 years old living with your mom, you can do that. But when you grown and got bills, nah, don't do it.
You're 100% right, man. Do not quit your job. If you're already out by yourself, just have a common sense. Have a little sense of saying, well, even though it's tough, but if you're full time working and you have a niche, you have a hobby, or you have something that you want to excel in, go for it. Just invest the money into it. Just doesn't hurt to try. I know people get cold feet. I hear a lot of people would say, "Oh, well, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do something," blah blah blah. And then 5 years later, yeah, I'm still going ahead and do what I need to do, but didn't make an effort to actually do it. You take a chance and see what happens. But and I can't speak for everyone because everybody doing different things. I don't have to go get a brick and mortar or a building to sell clothing. You can sell clothing online now.
Right.
It's a lot of things you can do without spending so much money. Just invest in a laptop, a computer, desktop. That's a big investment. That's probably the biggest investment I had. You know?
Same here, man.
Yeah,
Same here.
you could do a lot of things with the laptop or desktop, and even your phone now. You know,
Mhm.
so
Yeah, man.
there's no excuse to not do anything. If you have goals, if you have,
Mhm.
if you have goals and you haven't gotten them accomplished, there's ways of getting it done. It's hard, it's tough, but at least you keep your focus.
Mhm.
Your focus is there. Your grind is there. And I applaud you, Doug, for creating a podcast, something you love to do, and it's basically a community thing because
Mhm.
digital wise, because you're kind of interviewing people from home,
Mhm.
from elsewhere. But when you interview people from Montgomery, Alabama, that helps because the community knows, and it may be someone out there that's into podcasting, graphic designing, and they hearing veterans like ourselves
Mhm.
give advice to people, and we don't know everything, but the things that we've gone through or things that we experience, we would just like to share it because you never know who's listening and who is really taking notes.
Right. Yeah, man, and definitely appreciate that, man. I appreciate those words, and that's really what I started this podcast for, man. Just for Montgomery, for my hometown, and that's what. Well, like I said in my pilot episode, I first got the idea like 3 years ago, and I sat on it like you said. To your point, a lot of people just sit around and not do anything and make excuses, and technology has taken away all excuses. So there's no excuse to not tap into that gift on the side.
Right, man, you are so right. I was like that too. We all had the moments where it's like, yeah, got the job, man. I got the job, man. I don't know what else to do there, but just go to work, come home, go to work and come home. But it's just so much out there now, and the
Mhm.
technology that we're using now is showing us that hey, it's a lot out there, guys. Tim and Doug, man. Hey,
Mhm.
you might have to do something else if you want. It's there for you.
Right,
So
man.
I I just like to help entrepreneurs the best way I can,
Mhm.
um, especially startups. I come my audience is a lot of my clients is a lot of startup people where they need to start a business. So they need a logo, they need business cards, they need maybe a little animation, maybe a little flyers, social media marketing. So that's what I do. That's where I come in to help and
Mhm.
assist, and it's always a marketing thing, because you have to get noticed. You have to let people know that hey, I'm here. This is what I have. This is what I have to offer. Here I am, and I think a lot of us need to hear experiences from a lot of business owners, even business owners that's way ahead of us. That's 10 years in the game, 20 years in the game, 30 years in the game. So they see the difference because even with 20-year business owners,
Mhm.
they don't even know much about the technology now. So your job is to kind of steer them into what's happening now and what can help their business still grow. You know, so I've there's business owners that just couldn't make it and they just failed, or they're business owners that still trying to figure it out. And when you first start out being a business owner, it's not like I said, it's not an easy task. So you just kind of you're learning as it go. You just get out there and figure it out. You're gonna have a couple of mistakes, but let the success overcome the mistakes. So I think that will happen if you continue to grind it.
Yes, sir. Everything you've been saying, man, has been spot on, man. Just in a nutshell, what you were just saying, like just keep going. I mean, stepping out there is not going to be easy, but just keep going and see your way through. So, so man, I like to ask everybody who comes on to the podcast, I like to ask them three specific questions. I'll start with the first one. So the first question is the aha moment. When was that moment where the idea to start the company first sparked in your mind? And I know you said earlier while you were in Atlanta, you started to kind of go back. You had the desire to tap into that gift. So was that the aha moment while you were working in Atlanta, or was it something else that sparked the idea to start Harding Creations?
Well, that was one of the moments because when you're in another city, in a larger city, it's like, wow, you're competing against a lot of people, and that it taught me in Atlanta taught me toughness. Coming back home, it taught me a lot of hustle. Taught me how to overcome tough situations. And when I got back home to Alabama, the the dealing with different business owners was the thing. Certain things in Atlanta was already ahead of what was happening in Atlanta. So some things that I kind of learned from Atlanta, I kind of transported that at home, where some business owners didn't know that, hey, there's certain methods of marketing and things that you can do to help grow your business. I think branding was a big thing for me. I didn't realize that branding is very important. When I came back home, it was a lot of old-fashioned things going on, and it was kind of a no-go going forward. So I want to introduce myself, and I said, hey, I can do this. I say, hey, wow, I can start a business helping branding people's businesses, or helping an entrepreneur that wants to get things going and start a business. So I was in between. I was just zeroing the gap on already business owners, but you got people coming in wanting to start a business. So I think I saw a business in that, and I said, well, maybe I can start a business where I can just only help and create branding for companies, businesses, and individuals. So yeah, it's levels of branding. But if you're focused on people that were wanting to get things going and didn't know what direction to go, because a lot of business owners will come to me and ask, what should I do first? Or I said, well, the first thing is that you need a logo. And the logo is your brand. So you can put that on anything. You can transport it to t-shirts, caps, car magnets, anything that can catch the eye of possible customers, clients your way. So it was real deep, to the point when I came back home, I said, I need to do something, and it was on the back of like you, Doug, you had the idea going, but it's not the time, because I was working full time. I was focusing on things, the basic things, getting a house, getting a transportation, getting things going. So yeah, those had to come first, but the idea was there. And then when it was time, I knew it was time. I just knew that, hey, I need to make this official, because I was doing it, but I didn't have a business under the umbrella.
Tracking. No, man, that's great, man. So your aha moment, basically, when you came back home, you saw a gap, you saw an opportunity, you saw a gap that you could fill. And man, man, that I commend you for having that awareness to see that, because that's where ideas come from. You came back, you saw that, hey, that's missing. A lot of the old fashioned ways are kind of out of there. And to your point, you were saying you basically help people, help startups, and that was just an aha moment, man. Just being aware, and like I said, and well, not like I said, but that's one thing I'll always advise anybody, man. Just open your eyes and pay attention, man. Like, you can get an idea if you just paying attention. Like, man, what's missing?
Exactly.
So okay. So from the time you first had the aha moment coming back to Montgomery and to putting into action to starting the business, if I recall correctly, you said that was when you got to Birmingham. From the time you had the idea, from when you moved, got your house, moved to Birmingham, that was when you started the business. Anything else you want to add as far as to how long it took you between the idea and the action? Well, between the idea and actually putting into action to start.
Well, getting comfortable at my 8 to 5 was one thing. It was a good thing, and I guess it was a bad thing and a good thing at the same time, because I got comfortable working 8 to 5, and the idea was always there, but how was I able to execute the idea? That was my question, and to myself. And what I was doing at work was the same thing I was doing outside of work. So I said, why can't I create my own idea, my own brand? So it was in between me working, and I'm comfortable doing what I'm doing at work every day. I had this automatic system going. So when I got home, that's when I started doing researching on freelancers, being a freelancer, but how can a freelancer transport into a business owner? So I actually, in Birmingham, I would say I had mentors that were already business owners, and I actually worked for a company where I was doing digital work, and the owner, I was really impressed on how he grew his business, and I learned from him as well. And he ended up having a straight business talk where he helped entrepreneurs like ourselves move to the next step. As far as how do you get clients? How do you grow your business? What are the things you need to do? The LLCs, the S corp, corporation. What's the difference between those three? How do you sole proprietorship, or how do you handle those tax wise? How do you handle it from a customer standpoint, or your achievement standpoint, or your certifications? How do you get trusted by customers? How do you get there? So I learned a lot. I was actually a freelancer for him, and I continued to learn from him at the expense of having those workshops, and you were able to advertise your business at the same time and learn at the same time. You had lawyers there, you had other business owners there, tax preparers. So those things were important, and that really, I really soaked all that knowledge in to establish myself, and then it just took off from there. So right now, my mission is to continue to grow as far as finding other clients, or even not just the clients, or just partnering with different companies. I can partner with a print company, and they need a heavy need of graphic designers. So you can partner with different companies, and then what will happen is you do work for them, and you get paid that way as well. So while I'm working 8 to 5, I'm still looking and searching for a growth of income that can fulfill or 2 times multiply over my current income working at 8 to 5. So that's the mission, and I'm pretty that's the mission for a lot of entrepreneurs.
Right. No, man, that's great, man. So you had the idea, the aha moment in Montgomery, and you took action once you got to Birmingham and got around mentors and got that exposure. And that's really what it's all about, man. That's really what we need. Information, in my opinion, information changes situations. And it sounds like you got around the right group of people who poured into you and gave you the tools you needed to get started. So the so the last so we got to the aha moment and the action. Let's talk about the audacity. Like what gave Tim Harden the audacity to step out there? Because when you starting something new, as you know, it's scary because you don't know how people going to respond to it. You like, man, I don't know if people going to support me, but you just do it anyway. So what gave you the audacity? What gave you the courage? Who or what influenced Tim Harden to have the audacity to step out there?
Well, yeah, I like to go in deep about the mentors that I've observed. There were some mentors, they didn't even know there was a mentor, you know, that you're
Right.
looking, seeing what they're doing, but you're learning. So even even watching people's testimonies online, you know, business owners online on how they got to where they came, you know, and when you have local mentors in the area, you actually seeing what's going on, you know, and you seeing networking is and building relationships is the key to all of this success. When you network with people, I'm networking with you, you're networking with me, and we know
Right.
people. You know, people may need a designer, people may need an interview, a podcast to help show their business. So it helps both of us. Um,
Right.
you know, we share each other's work, and then that's the thing. Building relationships and networking with other entrepreneurs help all of us grow. So I saw that, and I said, well, I need to be in that family
Right.
of people, and being around positive people helps. And you know, our parents probably say, "Hey, man, you gotta be around positive people.
Right.
Being positive people will get you somewhere, at
Mhm.
least, um, instead of being around negative people. You won't get things done when you're around negative people." So, how all I saw was positivity around people that were already business owners, and it really um, made me want to do something. You know, and if it's helping someone and way out in Lowndes County somewhere that needs a logo done, hey, I'm there.
Right.
Um, you know, it, it helps the a young owner see that a potential in someone that all they need is that little inch of help or a little inch of improvement or a little inch of what they already have that you can kind of help enhance that quality. So that's what I want to do, and I wanted to do it because there was a lot of people around me that had so much potential and didn't know where to start.
Right.
And I'm learning as it go. I'm like, I got a customer here. They need this. They need entire layout done for their business. You know? So I need to connect with them. And when you networking as a designer, you networking with business owners already, and you are a business owner yourself. So it's very it's pretty cool to be around it because you're there's no category that you're in. You just kind of versatile around across the board. So
Mhm.
it's real cool to be around people, successful people that um, thinking the same way as you.
Right. Okay, I'm tracking, man. So just being in that environment and being around those people is what helped give you the audacity, the courage to step out there. Nah, man, and everything you just said is spot on. Like networking is key. And no matter what, man, I mean, building relationships with people is the way to get from where you are to where you want to go.
Exactly.
So what's the ultimate vision for Harding Creations in terms of are you because of course I know you want to continue to grow your clientele. Are you looking to hire your employees down the road or do workshops down the road? What's in the vision for the company long term?
Yeah, anything's possible. All those things you called out above can happen.
Okay.
I'm at the point now, there's a lot of things that you got being an individual and a business owner. It's like you're taking care of a baby. You know, you have a company, you're taking care of that company, and that represents you. But you're behind it. So, as a business owner, what can you do? Well, to grow, I want to partner up with already established businesses already. And when I mean partner up is basically be a contractor under them, or get into government contracting. You can get into any type of contracting with the city, with the state, on the federal level. So there's opportunity in everything when it comes to this. So where do I go? I can start with the city, and I'm in Birmingham. There's city businesses that are in need of my skill set. So what should I do? Try to reach out to them. That's the only thing I can do. Advertise myself, showing my website, what I can do. This is what I have to offer, and see what happens. You never know. You may end up with the state doing things. You may end up on the federal level doing things. So it's about being qualified. What do I need to do to get there? Do I need to get more certification on my business, or do I need to, be more marketable? So that's where I want to go with the business. But even if I don't get to that point, still serve the customers that I already have. Sometimes you can go back to the customer and see if they need anything going forward, add it on to their budget. Some companies have a budget, and this is what they spend for this contractor that's in graphics. This is what they spend for other contractors. So you want to be in that family. You want to kind of keep that relationship build up. The people that you already do work for will, I guess, give a good message representing your company for you. So you may end up having other clients coming your way without even doing anything, because your work is there. So you may have other new owners coming in and saying, "Hey, I like what you did with this company. Can you do it for me?" So that's a good thing as well, having already proven work out there that can help you going forward. Keep it positive, keep it professional. You stay consistent on what you're doing, and don't lay off the wagon.
Okay. No, man, that's a great vision that you have for the company, man. Just continue to press forward with the clients you have, as well as just to continue to add to that clientele. So, man, as we wrap up, man, the $1 million question: what does Montgomery mean to you? What has Montgomery meant to you as your, just in terms of development as a man, husband, business owner? What does Montgomery mean to you?
Oh man, Montgomery is home, man. It's
Right.
coming home is always great. I'll be at home actually in 2 weeks, so it's coming home means a lot. Growing up, it seemed like back then we all had, it was just a lot of fun. Everybody had things to do, fun things to do, and it's a lot of people that know each other, or heard of him. I've seen him before, or but everybody's kind of close knit, especially when you go to a HBCU like Alabama State. You're gonna run in and network with different people, because a lot of us are located, throughout the country or whatever. But in the South, it's a handful of us in Atlanta, a handful of us in Birmingham, Huntsville, Mobile, and Montgomery. But me being a Montgomeryan and decide to stay local at a school, it showed. I guess it was pretty cool, because you networking with different people that's from different parts of the country. You had people from Florida that came to ASU, Georgia, Tennessee, what have you, or Chicago or Detroit, whatever. But you're amongst different people from different backgrounds. So it wasn't that everything was the same. So, but being a hometown person there, man, we had so many people that became successful from Montgomery, so I wanted to be one of those people. And I know, and I know, like yourself, you want to be one of those as well. So that kind of motivated us or myself to do what I want to do now.
Right. Yeah, man. No, that's awesome, man. And like you said, just being from here, it means everything, especially in terms of creating a brand, creating a name, leaving a legacy, and just people knowing, hey, Harding Creations was started in Montgomery. Hey, Gumtown Podcast was started in Montgomery, and that's really what it's all about, man. Just leaving a legacy, not only for your last name, but for your city. And
Exactly. Yeah.
we're both headed down that path, and we're gonna get there. Just got to keep working.
Yeah, and we get in Montgomery get a little negative view, and things can get better, but I mean, I don't see it. It's about what you make yourself out of. If you're from Montgomery and you see some negativity, you stay away from it, and you overcome the situations. People have different views from Montgomery. I'm from Montgomery, but people have different views of how they grew up. So like I said, I grew up in Western Hills, matter of fact, Western Hills area, and I enjoyed my time growing up. I actually, my mom was a teacher in Watauga County in Prattville, so I ended up going to Prattville High School. I had that option of going to Prattville High School since your parent works in that area, so I had the option. So I went there, and I enjoyed myself. So just getting to know different areas, different people, networking with people. I always like being social with people, talking to people, learning from them. And my personality speaks for itself. You can actually get someone with a pretty nice personality and easygoing. So that's part of it. Being at ASU is same way. Being at ASU, you easygoing with people. You talk with people, and you get a relationship. Building relationships. Just back to building relationships and networking. So.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. So how can the people connect with you, man? If you would drop your social media handles so people can connect with you.
Yes, you can find me at Harding Creations, hashtag Harding Creations on Facebook and Harding Creations LLC. That's the name, and you can reach me at 334-221-4874. That's my number, and you can email also at info@hardingcreations.com. And like I said, I appreciate you having me on, Doug. We will continue the network, of course. I know the podcast will blossom. You got a good thing going. A lot of people need to be on your podcast. A lot of successful people need to be on there and just and support. Any way I can support, let me know. I'm there. We alums, Montgomeryans, look out for each other.
Oh man, no doubt, man. Definitely appreciate those words, and of course, I'll put all your social media information in the details of the episode, man. And Tim, man, once again, I just want to thank you for taking time out your schedule to chop it over with me for a few minutes, man. This has been a great interview, and I know it's going to add value to people's lives, man. Again, thanks for your time, brother.
Hey, thanks for your time. Thanks for having me on, man. Thanks for having this platform.
No doubt. All right, good people. That concludes another episode of the Gumptown Podcast. We gone, but before we out, remember, be blessed, be safe, but most importantly, have the audacity to be you. Gone. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate your time and your attention. Until next time.